kids, welcome back to another pizza party. I'm Mrs. Pizza, and this is a reading vlog. Now, the reason that we are starting a reading vlog is because I am in a reading slump. I know. I didn't want to say it for the longest time. I kept calling it reader's fatigue. I thought I just needed a little reading nap, but that is not true. I literally have not picked up a book in a week, and that is not me. I am also having some really big problems with my anxiety lately, and usually reading helps me, and I haven't been able to physically pick up a book. I've decided we are going to do my tried and true methods and how to get over a reading slump, or how I get over a reading slump, because everybody seems to have their own special formula, their special recipe, their secret sauce to get over a reading slump. Mine is to read short books, to read romance books, and to read books from authors that I've already enjoyed in the past. If I can combine some of those things, we're cooking with gas. So I have decided to pick up 2 books right now. I was about to say this time. That's weird. I'm having trouble speaking. We are going to pick up 2 books and try and just kick this reading slump's butt. So the first book that I'm going to be picking up is from an author that I really enjoy, something that is short and something that is an audiobook, something that I've been looking forward to, and that is What Feasts at Night by T. Kingfisher. I'm a T. Kingfisher fan. They do more cozy, dark horror, cozy dark fantasy. So I feel like I enjoyed the first book, and you know what would have helped this whole situation? If I had gotten the books. Hold on, stay here. Get the damn books. All right, let's try this in a more prepared fashion. Also, what are you doing? The first book in this, I guess this is going to be a series now, which is fine. I will totally read the books in this series. But What Moves the Dead is the first book in this now duology, at least, by this author. This is actually inspired by The Fall of the House of Usher by Edgar Allan Poe. This is the story of Alix, who is a soldier who receives a letter from a friend named Madeline who is on death's door, and so Alix makes the trek to the great, big, and spooky and damp Usher estate to find both Madeline and her brother acting strangely. Something's off, everything's damp, everything smells really moldy and gross. I am personally really affected by mold and mushrooms and damp smells. It is impossible for me to talk about it without my face just screws up. I enjoyed this. I thought this was a lot of fun. And so I'm excited to continue on with the series. The physical book that I'm going to be picking up is from an author I really enjoy, a romance book, a fantasy book, and technically a book I've already read. And that is That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon by Kimberly Lemming. I feel like I have talked about this book so much on my channel. And if you haven't heard of it, here you go. Let me help you out a little bit. This is a fantasy romance that is absolutely hilarious and a little bit more fantasy forward. This is the story of Sin, or Cinnamon as her full name is, and she lives on a spice farm in a small fantasy world. Well, a large fantasy world, small fantasy town. When one day Cinnamon is making the trek home at night after being at a festival in town and having a few too many drinks, when she stumbles upon someone who is in peril, and she decides to help him. But oops, she accidentally just saved a demon. Now in this world, demons are a multitude of magical creatures. So even though he does look very demon-y on this cover, this demon can mean a lot of things in this world. And so so Cinnamon ends up going on an adventure with our demon to, stop evil powers, save the world, blah, 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 blah. Stuff that Cinnamon was not interested in before. Cinnamon liked her life. She was doing great. And it just kind of gets turned upside down. This book is hilarious. When I read it, it was available on Kindle Unlimited. It has since been picked up by a publisher, and the first 3 books in the series have been given new covers and traditionally published. So I enjoyed this series. I want to support this author, so I am going to physically buy all of the new covers. Also, they're absolutely gorgeous. Tell me that's not gorgeous. I will say in this series, the first book is good. I really enjoyed it. I had a good time. The second book is better. I enjoyed it more. I had an even better time. The third book was great. And so it's one of those that this author is getting better and better with each book, probably because they're having to do less kind of full world building and they're able to kind of ratchet the scope down a little bit and kind of more focus on our two main characters, as this one is kind of got a larger scope than the other two since we're going on a big adventure. I think as far as rom-com fantasy romances go, this one is funny. I am interested to see, now having read the other ones and then going back, if there's been any like additional editing going on, if I'm going to miss anything, if there's going to be anything new. And I think there's at least one, if not two more books planned in this series, so I need to reread it, obviously. I don't know. I'm in a reading slump. I want to pick up things that I already know I like. How about that? I just want to get out of this reading slump. So let's read some books, you know? Oh, look at that happy tail. Watch. Weenie. Weenie. Someone likes when you say her name. All right, it is super early in the morning. This lighting is going to be atrocious, but I don't even really care because I've got somewhere to be. I got a job and I got to go to it. I thought since I had a moment, and I've gotten quite a decent way. I think I'm about to the 40-ish% mark in What Feasts at Night, my audiobook. And since it's super short, I want to go ahead and update you before I finish it. This is once again the story of Alix, our sworn soldier, who in our first book travels to the house of the ushers, or the estate of the ushers, because the ushers are super fancy. In this one, Alix is actually traveling to a hunting lodge that their family owns, but they have not been to this hunting lodge since they were very, very young. And there is a caretaker at the hunting lodge. We quickly get to the hunting lodge. It's kind of fallen into neglect. There are spider webs. We're trying to set the spooky setting this time instead of the damp, creepy estate manor fancy house that's crumbling. We now have a very secluded old hunting lodge full of antlers and spider webs and moths. The setting is not nearly as scary for me. I guess we're going for more secluded because we're in a very remote area with a very small town nearby. So far, this is absolutely fine. I enjoy Alix as a character, and so it's nice being back with Alix as ooky spooky things happen. And we get a slow unraveling of things that are happening, what the village's superstitions are, what they think is happening. Is something really happening? Is this supernatural? What's going on? But I feel like in the first book at this point, we had already had a lot more kind of spooky imagery. And this one, even though there are some spooky things happening, it's not nearly as anxiety inducing or effective for me. That being said, you literally could just say damp and I'm already freaked out. So it's, I don't need it to be as damp as the first one. That's for sure. I'm enjoying it though. I like how this author writes horror where it's more of a cozy horror, a cozy dark moment. So it doesn't have to be just like the most terrifying thing ever. It's just a lot of atmosphere and like sinister things happening. But I'm enjoying it. I've gotten quite a good chunk into, oh my gosh, my brain just deleted it. That time I got drunk and saved a demon. And it's just so stinking fun. Hold on. Hold on. All right, my memory card was full. As I ran away, my camera said, we're done. I wanted to read you the first line of this book because it's just so much stinking fun. If this doesn't convince you to pick this up, I don't know what will. I don't know why you don't want to have fun. Why don't you want to have fun? Chapter 1. I had only two things on my mind: cheese and how to get some home. Right? Cheese, you agree? Greatest opening line of all time. There's just a lot of like one-liners in this that are absolutely fantastic. It's going to make you giggle, is how I will put it. It's just funny. And that's all I need it to be. That's all I need it to be. I think that I will be finishing What Feasts at Night here pretty quickly, and hopefully I make it through this. And then we can pick up something else and continue on and crush the reading slump into oblivion. Right, Weenie? I thought I looked cute, and then I put my hair up because it's been rainy for a couple of days, but the sun is out now, but it's cold. None of this matters. Why are we here? We are here because I finished some dang books. books. I finished What Feasts at Night by Kingfisher, and I think I ended up giving this 3 stars. It was another cozy good time. I enjoyed being back with our sworn soldier Alix. Instead of being at the crumbling estate, we were now at a hunting lodge, kind of in a secluded area near a very small town. Ooky spooky things happened. This one didn't affect me as much as the first one, but I still had a good time, and I would definitely continue reading on in the series. I really like the character of Alix. I like that they have the worst luck in the universe when it comes to creepy, spooky things. They just keep happening upon these very creepy locations with sinister things happening, and they kind of have to unfortunately unravel what the heck is happening. But it was a quick and easy good time. And so I finished a book. I also finished... I don't know why you're obsessed with smelling my hip today. I must have touched something that was absolutely delicious on the left side of my body. I finished this and I ended up giving it 4 stars. I am going to reread my way through this entire series because it's just so stinking funny. I put on my Goodreads review, my new review on Goodreads of this, since I have read it previously, that I just feel like Kimberly Lemming is the friend, she's the chaos friend in the group. I don't have any basis for this statement other than I feel like her humor and her voice as a writer is so funny, fun chaos. You're just having a silly good time in this. And I feel like Kimberly Lemming is the chaos friend in the friend group. She is the one that talks all the friends into dressing up like nuns and going bar hopping on a Tuesday. She is the one that for her birthday, you all have to buy rainbow wigs and dress up as your favorite Britney Spears characters/songs. She is so much fun, and it's so random and so chaos. And that is what I've decided she is like as a person. I don't know her, but I think that I would like her a whole bunch based on how much I like her comedic voice within these stories. They're also spicy and fun. The world building is fun and easy. This isn't hard. I feel like I've recommended this to a lot of people that are interested, that are big time romance readers and interested into getting into fantasy romance, or for fantasy readers that are interested in getting into fantasy romance, but they're not looking for something epic and long. For anybody that wants something that's light and spicy and funny. Here you go. This series. The first book I really love, but it is not my favorite within the series. And so I'm going to keep reading because I want to get to the books that I really like in this series. That being said, we are kicking the butt of the reading slump at this point. So what we're going to do is pick up 2 more reads. We're just going to keep pumping it out. I don't know where my phone is, but I know that in order to kind of keep this momentum going, I want to pick a ebook that is super short and available on Kindle Unlimited. And I want to see what my library has actually kicked me through a couple of audiobooks as I was finishing up my What Feasts at Night. And so I want to see what it's sent me, and we'll pick one of those up. And that's how we're just going to keep on trucking, Well, I had my phone and then I lost my phone, which sounds like me, honestly. So let's see what the library's got available for us that looks fun, funny, fun times. Okay, Faebound by Saara El-Arifi just came through. I've been interested in that. I think it's Fae. I think somebody said it was romantasy. I really don't know much about it. The cover is gorgeous. So we're going to pick that boy up as our audiobook. And then I actually downloaded a couple of short books from Kindle Unlimited. We're going to go with The 6 Deaths of the Saint. This is by Alix Harrow. I have not read anything from this author, but I actually own at least one book from them that's on my TBR shelf right now. I think this book is incredibly short, and I've heard good things about it. And the only thing is this person's going to die 6 times. That's all I know. There you go. Let's keep kicking this butt. Oh, do you know what we should do? I would totally get Mr. Pizza involved in this if he wasn't in a meeting right now. But we have a book that just arrived, and we need to open that bad boy up. Also, Winnie is currently upset about something. Is someone walking by your house? How dare they? Let me go get the book and we'll open it up. Now you lost window privileges, There's a cat pooping in our front yard right now, so that's why she's losing her marbles. I mean, I understand. It's pretty gross. All right, let's open a book. I'm so excited. Yeah. Empire of the Damned. This is by Kristoff. This is the follow-up to Empire of the Vampire. And it's a little bit shorter, but not excessively shorter. But let's look at these. Holy moly. The art that is in these books is so stinking gorgeous, and I could not be more excited. This is the story of Gabriel. He is a silver saint and kind of a boogeyman to vampire kind. The silver saints are all extinct except for Gabriel, and he has been captured by vampires and is locked up in a tower when a vampire shows up and says, "Hey, I'm going to record your story." And Gabriel promptly flicks him off and tells him to go to hell, but then eventually tells his story. And then we have two timelines we're following outside of our Gabriel in the timeline, or Gabriel in the Tower timeline. And that is Gabriel as a young man becoming a silver saint. And then Gabriel as an adult becoming the boogeyman for these vampires. He is a super duper hero, and he is very reluctantly so. This is dark and grim and sad and bloody, and I loved it so much, and I can't wait to continue on with this story. God, it was so good. I want to know. I want to know. So I'm excited it finally got here. I think I kept checking the release date, and I swear it kept changing. So I'm glad she's here. All right, let's keep reading, and let's keep kicking this reading slump's butt.
So high I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through.
The air conditioning literally kicked on. Why is the air conditioning on? It's cold outside. Hold on. It's the heat. The heat kicked on. I hope that I look all right because I don't have my glasses on, because if I did, it would just be a giant glare in this general area, and I'm trying to save you from that, so I can't see anything. We are here because I have finished another book. It didn't take long because The 6 Deaths of the Saint is 36 pages. But here's what I will say. In that 36 pages, you get a fully developed story. I really, really enjoyed this. And I can't really tell you much other than we open the story with our main character who is ill and left for dead. They are scooped up by the Prince of the Realm and thrust into this new life as their super duper warrior. And they are visited by the Saint of War. Is it the Saint of War? They are visited by the Saint of Death. Is that what it is? The Saint of War. This is 36 pages, and yet you have such an interesting story that has such an arc to it. And at the very end, you were just like, oh, that was great. That was just great. And I will say in a lot of really short stories like this, I'm left wanting more. I wish there was more. And even though I think I would read more about this world that the author has created, I didn't feel unsatisfied by this short of a nugget. It was just absolutely perfect for what it needed to be. I really enjoyed it. And then I went through this collection of short stories that Amazon had curated, and I'm going to read some more because guess what? I'm still in a reading slump. But I will say this. I am not necessarily in a physical reading slump anymore. I am just unable to pick an audiobook because I actually ended up returning Faebound that I had started listening to. I made it a decent chunk into the beginning, and I don't think the book was bad. I just think that I wasn't going to be giving it a fair chance. There we go. The heat just kicked off. I wasn't giving it a fair chance because of the mood I was in. I wasn't really engaging with the story. And so what I went ahead and did is I returned it to the library and then got on the very bottom of the list. So hopefully by the time this comes back around to me, I'll be in the mood for it. It wasn't that I wasn't enjoying it. It was that I was in the wrong mood to give it a fair chance. And I didn't want to do that because I really did think I might enjoy it. I just wasn't where I needed to be up here. So I currently don't have a single audiobook going, and it's kind of driving me crazy because I am definitely just a constant audiobook listener. When I am walking the dogs, cleaning the house, putting around in the car, basically anytime that there is an opportunity for me to be listening to an audiobook, I am. And since it is so beautiful, even though it's a little cold out there, it has absolutely been beautiful. We've been starting to do some yard work. I've been taking the dogs on longer walks. I need something to listen to. So I'm going to figure it out. I'm glad we've gotten out of the physical reading slump, though. I'm glad that I've been able to pick up books. I think that's where I'm going to end this reading vlog. We made it through some books. We made some headway on this reading slump situation. I enjoyed some books. I'm just going to keep up this battle. I'm going to find some audiobook that just absolutely decimates the reading slump. And then I'll be back in business, as they say. Actually, if you have an audiobook that absolutely rocked your socks off, let me know, because I feel like a lot of the times it's the narrator that kind of kills it. And I have yet to make a definitive list of audiobook narrators that really are for me. But I do know there are some, because I'll recognize a voice and I'll be like, oh, I love this narrator. So if you've got something really good that just you think will get me out of this audiobook reading slump, I want it. Gimme. But if you had fun hanging out with me and the dogs, please subscribe. I hope you're reading good books out there, wherever you are, and I'll see you next time.